This is your Butterick EB6100 sewing machine, and for those of you that are brand new to sewing, I thought it might be useful to explain some of the features and the very basics about your machine, like for instance where you're going to plug it in. On the side of the machine here, that's where your power lead's going to go. You can see mine's already plugged in, and just above is where your foot pedal goes. Now when the foot pedal goes in, the machine will beep, because it'll recognise that something's changed. This is your on-off switch, and as you come further up the side of the machine, you'll see this wheel here. That's called the hand wheel. That'll start spinning around when you start to sew. On the front of the machine here are all of your stitches, so they're really easy to see. So there's a diagram of each one of the stitches and a number at the top, and that's the number that you choose or you program into the machine when you choose your stitches. Come a little bit further up, and these 4 buttons here will enable you to lengthen or shorten the stitches. On a straight stitch, which is the default stitch when you first switch the machine on, there's obviously no width to a straight stitch. So now when you press the width button, it'll actually take the needle from one side to another, so you can get really precise hemming with this. Over this side you've got a twin needle button. Not all stitches are suitable for twin needle sewing, like buttonholes for instance. So when I depress the twin needle button, the icon comes up on the screen, and now I won't be able to select a stitch that it's not suitable for, like the buttonholes. This is your program stitch. So this is where you're going to choose your stitch number. So for instance, if I wanted to choose stitch number 47, hold down the right hand side, the plus, until it goes to number 4, and then depress quickly until it goes to number 7. Here, that little needle there shows me that the needle is in the up position, so when I start sewing and when I stop sewing, the needle will revert to the up position. You can change that, make it go down. And over here are the recommended stitch widths and stitch lengths, which again you can override on some of the stitches with the buttons here. It double beeps if you can't, like the one that I've just chosen. On the top of the machine here is where you're going to wind your bobbin up. And then across to the front of the machine, you've got more buttons here. So this is your speed control. You can use your speed control while you have the foot pedal in. It just means that if you shorten the speed or reduce the speed on the speed control, when you put your foot right down to the floor on your foot pedal, it won't go as fast. So you can control the foot pedal with the speed control. But when the foot pedal's not in use, you have a start-stop button on the machine here. So now you don't need to use the foot pedal at all. Just above the start-stop button is a lock stitch or a reversing stitch. So if you choose a decorative stitch, this will put 4 tiny stitches on top of each other, so you're not going to spoil the design, but it'll stop the stitches from coming undone. If you're going to use that with a straight stitch, you'll get a couple of stitches going backwards, again to fix the stitch line to stop them unravelling. And above here is that needle up, needle down, so you can choose whether you start or stop with the needle up or down. That's invaluable if you're patchworking, quilting or sewing around shapes where you need to pivot, so you'll need to leave the needle down while you move your work around. On the top of the machine here is your tension. Don't worry about tensions for now. That'll be factory set at number 5 when you get it home. Between 4 and 6 are recommended. There will be more videos and tutorials for you to have a look at, which explains a little bit more about tension, the way that it works, all about your threading and things like that. Diagrams on the machine will show you where to thread. We'll show you that in another video as well. So your thread will eventually come down to the needle here. There is a needle threader on the side of the machine. Your feet are snap-on, drop-off feet. That makes it very easy. You do have a lot of feet included with this machine. Again, we'll take you through those in a different video. This is called either the needle plate or the throat plate. You have measurements on the side of it, so you can sew in perfect straight lines. The feed teeth or the feed dogs are these spiky bits here that draw the fabric through. That's what your sewing is. And this is where your bobbin is going to go in the bottom. And it's a drop-in bobbin with a clear case so you can see exactly how much thread you have left. Okay, on the front of the machine here, an accessory compartment. So when you get this home, there'll be a bag of feet, of screwdrivers, of spare needles, of spool caps. That's all inside here. But now you've taken the accessory compartment off, This is called a free arm, and that means that you can sew things like cuffs and sleeves by slipping your fabric over the free arm, and it'll move around, so there's less chance of you sewing on top of itself. There is an extension table included, so pull out the leg at the bottom here. I'll just move the feet out of the way, and this slides onto the end of the machine here, and then simply clips in place. And that gives you a wider surface area. So if you're sewing large items, if you're dressmaking, or if you're making curtains, you can see now that you've got a really large area to work on. That's quite nice for free motion embroidery as well, because it gives you somewhere to rest your wrists while you're sewing. Now around the back of the machine you have a handle. On the top of the machine is your spool holder, so flick that out when you put your thread on there, and you will have a spool cap included in that accessory compartment as well that's going to hold your thread in place. So I hope that's helped you. As I said earlier, there will be more videos that you can have a click on to see how to thread the machine, different techniques, and a talk around all of the different stitches and how you're going to use them. Enjoy your sewing.